Man, it's been so long. It's been two? No. One?
I mean, if we do it once a week and we skip a week, it's been 2 weeks.
That is true.
It's math.
Listen, I thought we already discussed this. We're not going to do this anymore. Okay? And I'm changing the topic.
Changing the topic from math? No, this is math 2, baby.
No, we're not doing that. We're not doing that. Something interesting happened to me this morning. Are you going to ask?
No.
Well, I'm going to tell you anyways.
Okay.
I woke up. Everything was normal. You know, got ready for work. Went downstairs. Elevator wasn't working. That's not the interesting part, though. Did make me a little mad. Went out. Parking lot. Got in my car. Cranked up my car. Nothing happened. Battery died. So I had to go through a whole escapade of, number one, figuring out if it was, in fact, my battery. I did get my battery jumped by my uncle, who is thankfully around to help me. Because I'm pretty sure we have, like, AAA through, like, our car insurance. But my AAA card, like, expired in, like, 2021. So if I call them, I have no idea if they're going to show up. So, yeah, I had to buy a whole new battery for my car. And it cost...
I thought your uncle jumped it.
Well, he did, but it literally only lasted enough to drive me to an auto parts store. Because as I was going there, like, my music was playing and it, like, kept cutting out, which I thought was really weird. And, like, the lights on my dashboard were, like, flickering. So that was very interesting. I had to, like, turn off my music and my AC just to conserve enough battery power to get to an auto parts store. So that was fun. And by fun, I mean not fun. Battery cost $216, which, I mean, I kind of felt that it was going to cost a lot, but I was prepared to pay for it, but I didn't want to pay for it. So, but I did anyways. That's adult life, which I find interesting. Car insurance, it only really, like, helps in, like, accidents, but not if your car just, like, breaks, like health insurance does. So that's wild. But yeah, that was my morning. By the time I got to work, I felt like I wanted to take a nap because it was just so tiring.
Those are this morning?
Yes. So,
Wednesday the 2nd.
Today is Thursday.
Shoot. We had Memorial Day. I'm thrown off.
That's fair. I'm also somewhat thrown off. But, yeah, that wasn't super interesting, but it did throw my day off considerably.
Well, something that also wasn't interesting that happened to me that threw my day off is I use Pandora. You know, I like it, and it has,
Don't know why, but continue.
Because I like it.
Okay. I don't know why you like it, considering the other options that exist for you. Well, you don't pay for it, do you?
No.
Oh,
it's completely free.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And there's like there's some ads, but like,
when I'm listening to music, if I hear an advertisement, I want to punch a hole in drywall. That's why I lasted, like, maybe one day, not even a day, not even a full day, using, like, free Spotify before I just paid for it.
Poor people Spotify.
Exactly. Poor people Spotify.
Well, what I think is great about Pandora is, like, if I ever want Pandora Premium, just watch, like, a 30-second ad, and then boom, I get it for, like, 30 minutes. You know what
30
I mean?
minutes?
Yeah.
30 minutes.
I don't need Pandora.
That's, like, maybe one album. If that.
It's like half an album.
No. Well, I don't know what kind of music you listen to, but...
Bo Burnham.
Okay.
Nonstop, all day, every day.
Just the Bo Burnham station.
No, I mean, I feel like I spend most of my time listening to podcasts, so I don't need... I don't know. I only listen to music like 30 minutes to an hour at a time, and I'm fine with some ads.
I think I feel more intensely about music than you do. I don't know. That might be false. I'm very willing to admit that I'm wrong if it is, in case you were wondering.
I don't think I would challenge it. I feel like if you feel intensely, then sure, you feel intensely. I don't know
if it's like feeling intensely, but I like to...
That's literally what you said.
Okay, but I may have misspoke.
more intensely than you about music.
Well, I couldn't find the right word at the time, but
Okay.
I like to listen to my music very specifically. I like to listen to whole albums in order, which, by the way, you can't do that on poor people Spotify, which made me so mad.
You can do it on Pandora if
Well,
you listen to a 30-second ad twice.
But see, I don't want to do that. So, and
You can do it on YouTube as well, again with ads. But
yeah, ads. I'm not a fan of ads. Okay, I have ad block installed on my personal computer and my work computer.
Do you not get ads on YouTube?
Not on my personal computer, but considering I watch YouTube primarily on my phone, I do get ads, but I just kind of deal with it. I can tolerate it on YouTube for YouTube videos, but for music, I can't do it. I can't have an interrupted music listening experience because, some albums, they have tracks that are supposed to flow into one another. And if that is like broken up, I just want to punch a hole in drywall.
I'll say, speaking of interruptions, I got like 2 seconds into my story before you interrupted me.
What were you
I literally said like, I use Pandora and you're like, yeah, I don't know why. And it's like, Pandora just like sucks. Spotify is superior.
Well, Spotify has its problems, but whatever. Go on.
Excuse me?
Spotify has its problems, but whatever.
No, it's excuse me because you interrupted me again.
I said go on.
Okay. So it has an alarm. I'm getting an ad. Well, every time I leave Pandora, like I'm texting my siblings sort of as well. And then every time I leave Pandora and come back, it's like, hey, watch an ad and you'll get 3 hours of free of
that's
Pandora
more than 30
Premium.
minutes.
Well, apparently it's a promotion.
Thursdays 6 to 9 p.m.
Happy hour.
That's lame.
Yeah.
Only one day a week. It's not like,
It's 3 hours though.
I mean, I guess, but I don't know if you remember back in the day, but you used to be able to send unlimited texts after like 9.
Okay.
But that was like every day of the week.
So Pandora has an alarm clock feature. Now, in the past, my college years, my alarm clock was just my like alarm on my phone. But the thing is that I did not like the alarms. I was like, I don't want to wake up to just like, violent screeching. And so I, using iTunes, would like buy songs. Problem is though, you buy a song you like, you listen to it as an alarm like every day.
You don't
every
like
morning,
it anymore.
You start to hate it and it gets old. Then I was like, oh, what if I could have a radio alarm? You know what I mean? Like like in movies, you know what I mean? Where it starts playing the radio, it's playing a random song. And I was like, okay, how do I turn Pandora into an alarm? Now, you go into the Pandora settings, it has an alarm feature.
Interesting.
And it's a little janky. Because basically, so like does Android have like screen time?
Probably.
Okay. Well, my screen time.
It has battery use.
Okay.
That's kind of the same.
My screen time is like super inflated because in order for like the Pandora alarm to work for whatever reason, you have to keep your phone on like all night. So then like.
You turn your phone off at night?
Yeah. No, like not off, but I'm saying like on, like this. You know what I mean? Screen can't go off.
Oh, wow. RIP your battery.
No, I mean, I think it's fine. The screen dims.
This phone is like newer.
The screen dims a lot, but like, so it tells me I was on Pandora for 8 hours today. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
When in actuality it was like, 7.5 or something.
So it doesn't just like run in the background? That's weird.
Yeah, I don't know. The app itself can, but the alarm can't. So.
Okay.
So anyway, I've been using that for a while and loving it. Random song every time. Pick whatever, station or genre I'm feeling. Usually something like calm and relaxing. It's just like, oh, I get to wake up to like a nice song.
Yeah.
Past 2 mornings hasn't worked. I don't know why. It just literally won't go off. And that upsets me because, it's made me a little late to work, Like, what am I supposed to do?
Interesting.
But anyway, yeah, it's been quite the inconvenience.
Well, clearly you lack my superpower, which is the fact that I'm able to wake myself up in time every morning.
See, when my back was broken, well, that's what's weird. When my back,
Broken?
No, okay, an exaggeration. It still hurts.
Okay.
When my back, I mean, I was quite incapacitated where it's like all Saturday and Sunday I spent like 90 to 80% of the day laying down in bed. Like it was rough. But that weekend, what is it? I was going to bed so early and I wasn't setting an alarm because it's like I need my rest. But for some reason that weekend, I was waking up like 6 a.m., 7 a.m., which like never happens. Even with an alarm, that's hard. And then all of a sudden, so I did that for like all of the 3-day weekend. And then as soon as work comes around, I still set an alarm. But for some reason, I didn't wake up naturally at 6 or 7 a.m. Like I was like, oh man.
Anticipating it. There's something, okay. I think I have a little bit of data on this because I have been wearing this smartwatch for like a few months. But on the weekends when I wake up, my heart rate is like kind of, it's not like abnormal. But before or like when I wake up on like a work day, my heart rate like spikes right when I wake up. So that might, I don't know, something about having to wake up at a specific time.
You're just staring at your heart rate. Like,
well, no. So the Fitbit app, it like records it. So, I mean, I can look at it. But it records your heart rate and you can see like your resting heart rate, and it has it doesn't do it for like every minute, but like every 10 minutes it'll record it. So let's see. All right, Sunday. I don't know what time I woke up on Sunday, but let's say for 8:20. We'll just say I woke up around that time on Sunday. My heart rate was like 123. And also I should mention I have like a resting heart rate in the 90s. So there's that. That's Sunday. And then of course Monday was a holiday. So Tuesday, woke up. Well, okay, I didn't wake up at 7:05, but that's around the time that I got out of bed. 1:47. So that's that's a lot. So
does your Fitbit like think you're dying or something? It's like, oh my God, her heart rate when you wake up.
I mean, no. I mean, it doesn't like send me alerts or anything because I don't have it set to send me alerts.
So you are just looking at the stats.
Yeah.
Okay. Didn't I ask that and you said no like a minute ago?
What did you ask?
I was like, you're just looking at the stat, like staring at your heart rate, like.
Well, I don't know if you meant just like, because when I look at it now, it tells me, you know, what my heart rate is. It's apparently at 111. So, like, no. But sometimes I'll go in and look at what my resting heart rate is, and I can see there's a graph that shows you like what it is. So there might be something there. All that to say about waking yourself up on a day where you don't have to like wake up at a specific time and waking yourself up on a day where you do. So that might be why.
I think we should do the intro. I'm bored.
Okay. You know what? Thin ice. Anyway.
Thin ice?
Yes. I legit don't know what episode it is. Oh, God.
It's the 20th, isn't it?
No, it's not the 20th.
It's the 19th then.
Is that true?
Yes.
How do you know that? How do you know that?
I don't know. Because you're dumb.
Yeah, exactly.
Your mom gay.
I'm going to tell her you said that. I'm going to tell her you said that. Okay. This is the 19th episode of the Not Just Arin podcast. I am Arin and you are?
I'm not Arin. She said, hallelujah, God is real.
Graciously, you responded with what you were supposed to respond with.
And you made a big deal out of it.
Yes, because when you don't do it, it's so annoying.
I think it's fun.
To you.
Should I use my power? Tell people to write in.
Did they write in last time for last week's, or I guess the last episode? Because I think you prompted them to do it either last episode or the episode
for
before last.
AMA one or the Am I the a-hole? Am I the a-hole? Yeah, I think Melissa. That's the last time I remember prompting people of write in if you thought they were girls.
Oh, yeah.
And then Melissa and David both wrote in and said they thought they were girls.
Interesting.
And
both also because we gave them girl names.
I mean, they gave that as potential reasons, but another reason that I thought but didn't at the time say was that like if they're like freshmen in high school, I just don't think, generally speaking, like girls, generally speaking, girls are more like emotionally mature than guys at that age. So it's like girls are going to want to be talking about like their friendships and their feelings and stuff like that, whereas like guys don't care.
And I think I said in that episode, we got a whole new generation, don't know what they're up to. So who knows, it might have changed slightly.
I think, I mean, when did this generation start?
Well, I don't know. Let's say, you know, the people you went to school with. Okay, so you were freshmen up to the people who were seniors when you started high school. And then the people who were a freshman all the way up to when you were a senior, when you were in high school, that's like your cohort, right? Because you somewhat spend time with them in the same environment for like some time. But then after you leave high school and after you're like the rest of your cohort leaves high school, then I would categorize that as like a new generation, because some time has passed, right? It's been what, at maximum like 4 years after you've graduated high school, so enough time has passed for like, you know, a new generation to get older and therefore enter into high school. So that made no sense. I can see it on your face.
Yeah.
But
well, so I'm partially basing this off of, I don't have the movie on my shelf, but and you haven't seen it, but Bo Burnham's movie 8th Grade, which, you know, that movie's only like 4 years old, and is about, I guess you could argue that, like, you know, it's 4 years, maybe the generation's irrelevant now, they're out of high school, but at the time, you know, he wrote and directed it, and I think his number one priority for that movie was, I guess, like telling, like, trying to capture the 8th grade experience. And since he is like a male, he was like, oh, I should probably like write this, not from like my own life, but just my own experience as a male. But then doing his research of like, and wanting to maybe explore some of the things that he wanted to explore in the movie, he was like, yeah, guys aren't talking about this. He was like, the reason I wrote and made it about like a female protagonist was because in his research from, you know, a couple of years ago was like, yeah, girls that age want to talk about like their soul and like their feelings, and it's like guys want to talk about Minecraft, you know.
I guess that's true.
I'm not saying there aren't people that might. I'm just saying, generally speaking, I think that that's just kind of like the baseline.
Yeah, but I still think that could be a good opportunity to show it from like a male perspective, because guys still go through a really formative time in the 8th grade, you know.
But they wouldn't necessarily be able to express that. You can show.
No, but you still experience it.
Yeah.
Even if it isn't talked about. And if he did want to write it from his perspective, I guess at that age, is that what you said?
Not like his perspective, but it's like I guess, because I just watched an interview where he was talking about it, but he was saying like, since he's a male, he felt like he should, but then he didn't feel like you really could explore those themes with like a male at that age.
I
or at least, you could. I mean, maybe, but like they wouldn't express it. So then you have like, I mean, that could be interesting. But then it would be like
a more, you know, not personal, but like isolated feeling. Because I guess because guys apparently don't talk about that kind of stuff that much, then they might feel.
Not that they don't, just they don't at that age.
Well, yeah,
it's an emotional maturity. Oh, sorry, I guess you didn't specify, so I thought you were just saying guys don't talk about it at all.
Yeah, well, not at all, but I don't know. I still feel like a lot of stuff goes on for guys at that point in time where they might have, you know, a lot to talk about. Maybe not with each other, or maybe not even talk about, just experience. You know, because I distinctly remember around that time, you know, some of the boys in my class were getting taller, some of them weren't. Some of them were getting more, you know, I guess traditionally masculine looking. Some of them weren't. And I feel like there's definitely things that can be talked about. It's just, you know, like you said, guys don't talk to each other about it.
At that age. I'm going to be honest. I kind of feel like I was talking a lot quieter than normal, and like I'm not with the same like enthusiasm and energy because we had a hidden guest, if you will. And it threw off my groove. I will now try to resume my groove and be back to the normal podcasting Joseph.
I didn't notice any difference, but
I just don't like it. It's the sort of thing, like, I don't know if you
like an
noticed
audience?
this. Yeah, I really don't. Like, whenever I'm on the phone with someone, I have to either walk away or go to another room. I don't like to be heard by other people other than like who I'm on the phone with.
Yeah.
You know, because I feel like I can be a very like closed off person, and it's like I open up around like other people, but if you like throw in someone else, it's like no, I'm gonna like just kind of shrink. But I think something that maybe well, okay, wait. I want to say that something else that David said was like, and you want to talk about generations. David is a decent bit older than us.
Yes. Which I did not know that initially until I asked him.
I believe he's 8 years older than us.
Yeah. Because I remember he said something about something happening in 2009, and I said, "Oh, I was in the 5th grade at that time," and he said, "Oh, I was like." Like graduated high school or in high school or something. I'm like, wait a minute, how old is this guy?
Yeah.
So I asked him, and at the time, I can't remember what year that was. He told me he was like 29.
Yeah.
So
when he was still around, I guess we were like 20 and he was like 28, 29.
Well, then I would have been like 19.
Yeah.
Because I am a young.
Oh, yeah. I forgot about that. Yeah.
Yeah.
But what is it? So something, a point in favor of the theory is that David is like a different generation than us. But he was saying like at his age, like that wasn't something he felt like he was talking about in 8th grade or in 8th or 9th grade.
Maybe I'm misunderstanding because I haven't seen the movie, but like what is the thing that is being talked about? Just kind of like
the social experience and like trying to, I guess, figure yourself out. And like, I don't know, like being confident in yourself, finding out who you are and stuff like that.
Yeah, I still think boys most certainly go through that kind of stuff. Again, they just don't talk about it at that age.
Okay.
So,
okay.
I don't know.
Well, here, wait.
Male?
You're cutting me off.
Okay.
I think, so that's a point in favor of this theory. A point against, maybe, Freaks and Geeks. That's a show that shows boys at that age kind of dealing with similar stuff.
Yeah.
So maybe it could be explored. Maybe the difference in the generation in like David's generation, our generation, or this current generation, it is changing to like, well, no, that wouldn't be a change. I don't know. I don't know if it's something we can prove. We're not experts, but
I mean, we could always conduct a scientific survey. But that
you
costs
got kids. Just use them.
I don't have children.
Study them.
Okay. My imaginary children.
Not your you're not, you didn't birth them. Okay. I'm saying the kids.
Oh, like at my work?
Yeah. How old are they?
K-12.
Seniors in high school? Wait, what's K-12?
Kindergarten through 12th grade.
Oh, okay. So a range.
Yeah.
Okay.
Basically all ages.
Well.
Except for like babies and like college people.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, maybe we do some abstract research. Go digging around on YouTube.
It's not empirical. That's anecdotal.
What if it's from the source?
I don't know. I'm not a scientist. Okay.
Okay. Well, let's say we're both right.
I can agree to that.
Okay.
Oh, man.
Well, maybe completely switching topics. I don't know if you thought about it, but I feel like there's two things I maybe want to talk about today.
Okay. I had one anecdote, though.
Another one?
Sure.
Is it more interesting than the car battery?
Yes.
Okay. I'm intrigued. The car battery set the bar so low that this sounds like Inception to me. But here, wait. Let's throw this out there.
Okay.
Give your anecdote and then maybe come back. But then, how long have we been recording already?
24 minutes.
Oh, jeez, we started late.
Yeah, we did.
It's not entirely my fault. It's not entirely my fault.
Okay, that's you. I had no problem.
I had to go to the bathroom.
Oh.
And we started, even though it's not entirely my fault. I'll take some blame. We started a little later because
You were not here when I was. Which,
don't.
to be fair, I did text you, and you didn't text me back.
I didn't see it, to be fair.
All right, fine.
To be fair, also, even though I make fun of you because you're like, we're starting on time. And I'm like, Arin, that's not give me a time. Give me an actual time. And you're like, when I get there, an amount of time, you freaking diva. Normally you show up around like 6:15. And so I thought we had more time. But we didn't because you showed up a little bit earlier. And
well, I made sure to get food before I got to my apartment, and then when I got there, all I did was like change clothes, and I came straight here. So,
well, I didn't see the text in my defense, and
now we're wasting more time.
if we had like a set time of like I will be at your place at 6 every Thursday, then I'd be like, okay, I can stick to that. But you haven't given me a time.
Well, that's because I can't control traffic. Sometimes traffic is really
You didn't give a time frame. You didn't give any time, Arin. You just said when I get there.
Sure.
But I'll take some blame. We started a little later because of me.
Okay.
Not because I wasn't here, but because I had to pee. And I don't know. Maybe I was slow.
Okay. What did you have to throw out?
So I threw out.
Is it what we talked about before?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I mean, you can shoot it down. I mean, I don't know. Maybe we can talk about it next week if you know the fans they demand it. They're just I don't know. I feel like there's two things on my mind. One, the shooting in Texas.
Okay.
I think I'm curious your thoughts on it because we haven't talked about it at all. And then
to be fair, we also don't typically talk about those things.
Yeah, but I mentioned to you over the phone of just like I was like I'm like, oh, another shooting, oh, that sucks. But the fact that it's like so many kids, the fact that it's kids, and the fact that it's like so many kids just really gets to me. Where it's like I think the feeling is passed a little bit, but like initially that like first week after it happened, like I don't watch the news, and but I was watching like, I don't know, I've watched a lot of like short videos on that of just like, I don't know, trying to get as much information as I could. And then I started like watching one at work where it was like showing pictures of the kids and like listing their names and stuff like that. And I had to stop like 2-3 kids in because I was like, I can't just start bawling my eyes at work.
Yeah.
And so it's just on my mind just because like I feel like I'm just particularly upset by this one. And I feel like I'm also a little upset about the discourse on it. Some of the discourse. I guess I'm not on social media, so I'm not seeing all of it. But what I do see on like YouTube from like news videos or community posts. The other thing, completely unrelated, Stranger Things.
Tonal whiplash.
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, that was the other thing.
Okay.
It's I mean, well, let's say very like microscopic. No, not even. I'm not going to say these are spoilers. So far, I've seen the first 2 episodes of season 4. I feel like it is like it feels a lot darker to me than previous seasons. So I mean, still not like as dark as like a real mass shooting, but it is like it is keeping me up at night a little bit.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
But it's just because like I don't necessarily expect that from Stranger Things. But
really,
yeah. I think this is something me and Melissa talked about. I feel like seasons 1 through 3 They have some darkness, they have some horror, but I feel like it was always like a fun blend of like adventure, sci-fi, and horror. It was always like a mixture, you know what I mean?
Whereas this one's kind of like straight horror.
Yeah, and I think I'm eating it up. I love it, but it's kind of shocking me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Actually, now that I think about it, you're kind of right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so, what is it? I love this. I love Stranger Things so much. Like,
you got what, 3 of the posters?
Yeah. I have seasons 1 and 2 on Blu-ray. Season 3 hasn't been released on Blu-ray. I hope they do. Yeah, I have 3 of the posters. I'll get the 4th sometime, and I'll get the 5th when it comes out. Like, I want.
I thought this was the last season.
No, 5 seasons.
Oh.
Yep. This is the penultimate season.
Man, they're gonna be like having mortgages and like male pattern baldness by the time this next season comes out, because I feel like a lot of time passed between last season and this season, because last season I remember watching that like
it was 3 years
at work study, like at school.
Yeah, so 3 years is a substantial amount of time.
Yeah. Like I'm in a whole different place in my life now.
Yeah.
So
I think that's something that maybe I don't think season 5 will take as long as 3 years. I think it'll take 1.5 to 2, maybe like 2.5 the most, depending on how big like the season is and like how much CGI they need or whatever.
And if Netflix exists by that time.
Netflix is gonna go under.
I mean, maybe, we don't know. I don't know what's going on over there at
what
Netflix.
Do you mean?
HQ.
You're telling me their decision to crack down on password sharing is hurting them? You're telling me that's not their key to success? Is making less people want their content? You're telling me greenlighting Tall Girl 3, 4, and 5 isn't raking in the money? Anyway, I don't know. Both of those are on my mind. More so since time has passed since the shooting. Stranger Things is currently more on my mind, but I feel like I'm open to talking about both of them. However, well, I feel like you'd probably be pretty good about this, but like I love Stranger Things so much that I'm like, and you're ahead of me. You've watched
by like 1 episode.
Yeah, that's fair. Well, you've watched one more episode than I have. And then so I'm like, when Melissa and I'm one episode ahead of her.
Glad that cap was on. Jeez.
I'm 1 episode ahead of her, and so I try to be like really careful where it's like when I'm talking to her about the show, I try to talk about it as if I've only seen the first episode, as if I like haven't seen the second episode. So it's like, if we're gonna talk about it, I want to be like sure that like you won't spoil anything for me, you know?
Yeah, which I can't guarantee that, because I kind of watched them like one after the other, these 3 episodes, so they all kind of blended together. All right,
guess we're talking about the shooting.
Well, okay, I'm gonna shoot that one down. Well, geez, I'm gonna decline to do that one as well.
Really?
Yes, because if we're gonna talk about something like this, I want to be like prepared.
Really?
You know, because I don't have all the facts of everything like neatly in front of me, and I don't want to be like bumbling around and like saying incorrect things.
But I'm usually you have the facts, and I'm bumbling around. You don't trust me to have the facts?
Well, I'm not entirely sure how you want to talk about this, so I just think we need to talk about it a little bit more. And then, of course, I just want to make sure I have everything correct, because this is something that you do, and you know, I get it why you do it, but sometimes I'll say something and you'll not immediately believe me, and then I will have to make a mad dash to convince you of what I'm saying is in fact true. So
okay.
Yeah. I just want to have everything
she said,
together.
I need more time to make sure I'm right.
Well, yeah.
Okay. That was a joke.
Okay.
Half a joke. Well, shoot, there goes my topics.
I still have my anecdote.
Yeah, I know. But like, man, I really want to talk about Stranger Things, but at the same time, you've already said also, you can't.
I think you like it a lot more than I do.
I love it.
Yeah, I know.
Arin, I love this show. I like that theme song starts playing. I'm just like, I'm grabbing my pillow and I'm like, oh boy, like I'm like shaking.
Yeah.
I freaking love this show.
It's like if I started talking about Mr. Robot and you're just sitting there slack jawed. So.
What do you wait, slack jawed?
Yeah.
Isn't that usually like a term of like amazement or something?
Not necessarily.
Really?
Yeah. Oh, here you go looking things. See. I just proved that point right here. I say something.
I never said you were wrong about it.
You don't immediately believe me. So,
I feel like this is okay. This is a positive spin on it.
Okay.
I think potential positive spin. I think I don't believe most people when they say something.
Okay. Which I do get the lore behind that, but I do be getting a little annoying sometimes though.
I would say that what is it? I don't believe most people when they say something, like anything, any fact.
Yeah.
The positive spin is that like we're good enough friends that I'll just be open about that. But if we're not good friends, if random Joe Schmo tells me that George Lucas is directing Star Wars 10 in a year from now, then I'll be like, oh, interesting, and I won't believe a word he said. Okay.
So we're good enough friends so you can disbelieve me to my face.
Yeah.
Got it. Cool.
I'm open. It's open and honest. Okay. I think.
Are you looking up the definition of slack-jawed?
Yeah, I am.
Lord. Okay. Like, I don't know why you just can't take my word for something.
Well, like you said about the shooting, the shooting in Texas. That's like you want to do your research to like make sure you have all the facts and all the information. I feel because
I feel like that specifically is a situation that warrants something like that. So
I feel like what is it? I just sometimes if I don't know something, I just want to look it up then and there. Not always. Sometimes I don't feel like lazy is the right word, but I'm going to use it. Sometimes I'm lazy and I don't want to, but it's times like this where I'm like, what does it mean? Now we can know for the future. I can forever know what slack-jawed mean. And then if someone uses it incorrectly, I can correct them. Or
if you're not good friends with them, you can just let it slide. What is it? What does it mean then?
Okay, well there's three definitions. There's like just one like that's literal, having a lower jaw dropped, especially in an expression of surprise, amazement. So not a neutral, but surprise or amazement. One is lacking intelligence or sophistication. So since you're talking about Mr. Robot, that's the one you're talking about of me. You're like, you haven't seen
specifically
Mr. Robot.
Disinterest.
But
sure,
you haven't seen Mr. Robot. Obviously, you're a smooth brain.
No.
And then another one of causing an open-mouthed expression as of shock or surprise. So in my Googling, it seems I'm right.
And I'm 1/3 right.
Disinterest is not one of these definitions listed.
It's adjacent.
Lacking intelligence or sophistication.
You don't know what adjacent means?
I know what adjacent means.
All right.
So which one is adjacent? Which word is adjacent?
The second definition.
Lacking intelligence or sophistication.
Specifically the sophistication.
So you're just insulting me.
Well, no.
You're like, you haven't seen Mr. Robot. You're lacking sophistication.
Is that supposed to be a British accent?
It's a snooty accent.
Oh, and as we know, British people are snooty, so again, adjacent. To be fair, okay. I don't know if she would object to being called British because of, the lore there, but I did know an Irish girl who went to Belhaven with us. I just don't know if she was like lower Irish or like Northern Irish. You probably didn't. She was only there for like a year.
I knew her. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I had a brief crush on her.
Oh, well. She was in a few of my creative writing classes and she was a fan
of yours?
My work. Yes. She like hugged me when the semester was over. I was so surprised. Wow. Yeah. I'm gonna have to oof out her name, but yeah.
No.
But yeah, she went
then Melissa's gonna ask me later. It's like, who do you have a crush on? She oofed it.
Well, then you can tell her.
I can tell her. I think she knows already.
Okay.
But
who didn't you have a crush on, honestly? you just, I don't know. We've discussed this before, but I think
The difference of a crush. Yeah.
Yeah, I think maybe you conflate crushing with thinking someone is attractive.
I mean, I feel like even at an initial meeting, sometimes like I like their personality. You know what I mean?
Oh wait, I forgot we're like different. You don't Oh wait, hold on. Are we? No, because we talked about this on the relationships episode, but I think you might have said that you don't immediately find people attractive or something like that.
I said that. I've said that about a couple people of like, but more specifically like people I've been
Until
in
you get to know
relationships
them.
with sometimes.
Okay.
Yeah, people I've been in relationships with or people I've had a crush on where it's like maybe I met them and then like I'm friends with them for a year and then it's like at a year or something we start getting closer and it's like, oh, that now I'm kind of finding this person attractive.
Interesting.
And I don't think it's like I don't think it's entirely finding their like personality attractive. I think it's almost like me getting to know their personality almost like just like almost literally like changes my eyes where it's just like, oh, I'm just finding you more attractive.
Now, this is not my anecdote. My anecdote is small, so we can get to it later. But it is Pride Month, and some people argue that what you just described is a sexuality. I think specifically demisexual. Let me look that up.
Okay.
I'll look it up.
Am I a demi boy? Whatever that means.
That's gender,
Something
and
different.
That's not 100% the same.
Okay. Is it pansexual?
No, pansexual is basically you're attracted to all genders. Demisexual.
I've heard that. I'm not disbelieving you. I'm actually
Okay.
well. I think I'm just actually just saying you're wrong, and based on what I've looked it up, what I've heard about being pansexual is that the definition is that it's not your
Well, that you're more attracted to personality than gender or something like that.
it's
Or you're more attracted to the person than their gender. I think I understand what you're saying now.
it says regardless of their sex or gender, and so
Yeah.
it's like their attraction.
Lies mostly in the person rather than their undercarriage.
I guess.
Okay, I can see where you're
It says a
going with
pansexual
now.
person may refer to themselves as gender blind. So it's like, it's not like I'm attracted to all the genders. It's like I'm attracted to people and whatever they are may just be happenstance.
Okay, that's not the same as demisexual though.
Okay.
Demisexuality is people who identify as demisexual only feel sexual attraction to someone after they formed a strong emotional bond with them.
Yeah, I don't, that's not me.
Okay, well,
I think,
cool.
I think it can be applied to like some of my relationships or some of my crushes, but it's like the reason I say like a lot of the time, the reason I say like, I'm like, oh, I have a crush on this person or oh, I had a crush on like a lot of people is because I'm like, dang, that girl's cute. You know what I mean? Like that's it, you know?
Okay, which is literally the opposite of that.
Yeah.
Okay, because I think that's like, general attraction.
Yeah.
So I think also
Physical attraction.
no, well, is that not what I just said?
You said general. I mean,
Well, yeah,
tomato,
physical.
tomato, I guess.
Yeah, but I think demisexuality falls under the asexual umbrella because of the way that attraction it's not immediate, right? You have to essentially got to put in some work. And of course, I'm not 100% knowledgeable on it, but that is what I have surmised from spending a lot of time online. So
I think the only
I actually
reason
do want to know what demi boy means because that is something different.
the only reason
Okay.
the only reason I looked up like the definition of like pansexuality is because I'd seen like memes of like I know you haven't watched Rick and Morty, but have you seen like the memes where it's like it sounds like this but with extra steps or something like that? There's like
Yeah.
a scene in the show where like a character is describing to Rick his like society that he built, where it's like it's kind of like that Black Mirror episode of like the 15 million credits. Have you seen Black Mirror? Yes.
I am familiar with some of the episodes.
Okay. Well, it's one where it's like, I don't know if it's satire because I haven't seen it in so long, but it's basically like work for money. I guess that is satire, where it's just like work for money. The more money you have, you move up in society. Like it's chasing these like dreams, but it's like
not just regular society.
Yeah, I know. That's what I'm having a hard time describing it, because like when simplifying it down, it just sounds like real life. But maybe that's the point. Well,
anyways, I get what you're.
Wait. Well, what I was gonna say, like the reason I only looked up the definition of pansexuality was because apparently, sometime recently, Alana Pierce, I guess, came out or identified as pansexual.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah, but yeah. Though I thought like sometime previously she came out as like bisexual, so I don't know if it. I don't know if it upgraded or something. Huh?
Well, there is some discourse within the LGBT community, of which I should point out I'm not a part of. Of whether or not
I'm not gay, but
I know, but I'm about to speak on authority or speak with authority on something I'm not like a part of.
You can just speak with knowledge.
Okay. But there is some discourse considering whether or not is bisexuality and pansexuality the same thing, because bisexuality is considered to be attraction to men and women.
Yeah.
But of course, gender is a spectrum. So does bisexual include all of the others?
That's why I corrected you based on the definition that I looked up. Yeah.
Okay.
And that's also like the meme where it's like, I didn't explain, I guess, like the scene fully, but like the meme using the Rick and Morty template is basically like, it's like, I'm pansexual because blah, 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 blah. And then Rick or Morty, I think it's Rick, just goes like, oh, that just sounds like bisexuality, but with extra steps,
Yeah.
Like.
And I think specifically, pansexual people include trans and non-binary people into the fray.
Yeah.
So to speak. So, but
the
again,
meat bucket.
Sure. However, there are still some bisexual people who are attracted to trans and non-binary people. They just call themselves bisexual. So it's really, I guess, just like a matter of what you self-identify as.
Okay.
Which, I mean, technically you don't, I guess you don't have to like identify as anything, because some people just refer to themselves as queer. So, and that can mean any number of things, but you don't really have to explain that.
You don't know what I saw at Target?
What?
So these Lego sets are getting wild. Typically, you think of like, when you hear Lego, you think of Star Wars. You think of
I think of the
Marvel.
Eiffel Tower.
Okay. There's
And the
also
White
some
House.
artsy stuff, some architecture.
Yeah.
You know what I saw a Lego set for
What?
at Target the other day?
What?
A Lego Queer Eye set.
Really? Oh,
Yeah.
I remember that one. It's their loft, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was shocked. Because I knew they made like a Seinfeld one.
Yeah.
And like, apparently they have a Friends one as well. I feel like Lego's really branching out, and it's cool. I was like, Queer Eye? I know it's a big deal. I haven't seen it. And I was like,
it's very heartwarming.
Queer Eye and Lego. Like, I feel like Lego's bigger than Fortnite with these crossovers. You're not seeing Queer Eye and Fortnite,
I mean, I don't know. JVN, he might get his own avatar.
He's gonna do the default dance.
Yeah.
But
I think I did hear about that at some point, which is why I got so excited.
Okay, so I think this episode literally.
We're still talking about Rick and Morty?
No, Black Mirror. I think this episode is like, you can view it as literally just reality, but it's presented as like a sci-fi dystopian. So the official synopsis is,
What's the name of the episode?
15 million merits.
Okay.
The official synopsis is like, in a world where people's lives consist of riding exercise bikes to gain credits, a man named Bing tries to help a woman get onto a singing competition show. Now, that doesn't really explain it much. This other one, unofficial, I think is better, where it says, in this alternate future reality, Bing and thousands of others must ride exercise bikes for hours a day to earn merits, credits that can be used to purchase basic success necessities as well as novelty items. And then it's like they're surrounded by
legs.
Huh?
What if you don't have legs?
I don't know. Get wrecked. I don't know.
Oh man.
You should watch Black Mirror. It's
Okay.
it's good, but I guess you found a plot hole. What if you're crippled? I guess I don't know. I mean, again, we live in a society.
We do.
You know,
we
you're
live
crippled.
in a society,
You're crippled, or don't have legs.
I don't think you can say
work.
crippled anymore.
Who says?
Disabled people.
I think I can't speak for disabled people, but
I did say I think.
okay.
I don't know for sure.
I'm gonna say I think you're wrong.
Okay.
But
I don't think a person in a wheelchair would take too kindly to being called like a cripple or something.
well, I would say probably it depends on the person. Like I would say that much, but I feel like the disabled people that I have seen on the internet, that guy, I don't remember his name, but
Ricky
that guy.
Berwick?
No, I was gonna say the guy on Funhouse.
Who?
I don't know. He's in a wheelchair.
Someone on Funhouse in a wheelchair? I haven't watched it.
He's not official, but he made a lot of like guest appearances.
Okay.
Yeah. But jokes about him being in a wheelchair were like brought up a lot or made a lot when he was around, and he was the one making half of them, you know.
Yeah. I'm starting to remember, but
No, he doesn't speak for all people in a wheelchair, but
yeah.
I think for the most part, unless you're like recently disabled, like, you know, you weren't born with it and you were just in a horrific crash, I feel like most people, it's just their life and like they're taking it in stride. And as long as you don't meet offense by it, I think it's fine. And then Ricky Berwick is the other one where it's like, I feel like a lot of his comedy, not a portion of it, probably not a majority portion, revolves around him being crippled. And like, he even jokes about it, you know? But again, you found a plot hole in Black Mirror. It's a great show though. I've kind of been itching to go back, and watch it. You can log each episode on Letterboxd. It's a selling point.
How
for
many
me.
episodes are there? There's got to be a good amount because there's 3 seasons. The only
23.
episode. Oh, no.
But they're long.
Yeah, the only episode like I remember is the one where the British Prime Minister has to do things to a pig's head in order to like stop something from happening.
It's just a full pig. He doesn't like, it's not a pig's head.
Well, you see, the British Prime Minister, I think either at the time that episode came out or it just came out at some point that the British Prime Minister, former now, David Cameron, like put his genitalia in a severed pig's head at some point in his life.
For fun?
Presumably. So,
interesting.
Yeah.
Well, this spoilers for episode 1 of Black Mirror. But he does not do it for fun, and it's not a decapitated head. It's just a full live
and it's
pig.
televised, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We live in a society.
We sure do. And then striking vipers, because, you know, gay.
What?
Striking vipers.
I don't know. You're saying words.
Striking vipers. The Black Mirror episode?
Oh, I haven't seen all of them.
Oh. But I feel like people talked about that one a lot, like when it dropped.
I'm not on the internet.
Well.
Let's see.
Okay, that's not 100% true.
Striking Vipers. I haven't seen it.
Okay.
It also, I don't know. It doesn't, as far as Black Mirror episodes go, it doesn't have the best reviews.
Well, this was the latest season.
Yeah. Which the latest season didn't have the best reviews either.
Yeah. Isn't Anthony Mackie in that one?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
He's on the poster. Okay, well, I mean, anyway, the description of the episode is, let's see. Okay. They're surrounded by televisions playing mindless entertainment all day long, including TV shows that mock the odd overweight citizen who cannot work out. Oh, we live in a society because they can't work. They can't earn money. They're too big because the money is riding a bike.
Is this Striking Vipers?
No, this is the 15 Million Merits.
What? Okay.
See, you're the one jumping around, and then you blame me when we get lost.
Why are we still on this?
Because I'm trying to read it, because you jump around too much. I'm trying to keep us on track.
But what were we talking about in the first place?
Because I was trying to tell you about the episode, and then I was like, oh, that just sounds like real life. And I'm like, well, shoot. I guess that's kind of the point.
Okay.
So
I think I have moved past it.
Huh?
I said I think I have.
Well,
moved
I'm
past
finishing it. Okay. It's going to take until the end of the episode, but
Oh Lord.
okay. So the TV shows that mock overweight people, apparently there's a lot of pornography and a talent show similar to the Real World's Got Talent franchise. When Bing meets Abby, a woman with a talent for singing, he believes he can win the competition and earn her. She can win the competition and earn her a better life. Mm-hmm. However, after he makes, wait, is this just going to spoil the show? Yeah, it's just kind of spoiling the show. Well, shoot.
Well, there's a first act.
Basically, I think it's satire because it's close to the society that we're living in, but it's like it's presented as a futuristic dystopian, and it's
where you have to ride a Peloton to get money.
Yeah. But then it's like, you know, you're so bombarded with advertisement. It's like no one saves up their money. Mm-hmm. It's like you just spend it on some nice shoes or your digital avatar in the metaverse. Honestly, that episode might be even better now with like all the talk of the metaverse, because that's a big thing of like the real world sucks. So then it's like the virtual world, and that's what they spend most of the money on.
Which is interesting because the metaverse has existed long before Mark Zuckerberg.
Don't let him take control of it.
Yeah. Long
like
before it was a twinkle in his eye.
Yeah.
People were living their lives on Second Life and IMVU and Habba Hotel.
And VR chat.
Yeah.
And I don't know, Call of Duty lobbies.
It's less of a social game.
Hey man, you get called slurs and people insult your mom. Like, that's pretty social.
Yes, but you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're just being funny.
I am funny. Excuse you.
Listen, we have long already established that I am the funnier person.
No, you've established that, and let me tell you.
And I am always right.
Let me tell you, that is not canon, and it's not just Arin lore, or not just Arin lore. Okay. It's not canon.
No, it's the combined universe that it's not just Arin.
Oh, the
See you.
The NJACU.
Let me see. INJA.
Well, it's but it's only not just Arin. It's not just Arin. But it's
combined with It's Just Arin.
So it's not just Arin.
Yeah. And it makes sense.
INJACU.
Yeah.
See, now it's just a mouthful. You can't have that many letters.
Well, try saying DCEU. That's a lot.
Oh, DCE. Oh my God, you're right. What? My.
Okay.
Frig, I can't do that again. God, can we move on?
Yes, we can.
I gotta drink some water. Frig, Arin, don't do that to me. Jesus, you trying to kill me on this episode? It'd be not just Arin exclusive. Joseph dies.
Okay, we can finally get to my anecdote.
Yeah, we've been teasing them for so long.
I know.
I guess whenever we finish, we've both watched. Well, actually, that might be a while. I want to say like whenever we finished
Stranger Things,
maybe just the first 7 episodes.
How many episodes are there?
9.
In the first part?
Yeah.
Okay. Jeez. No, it's the second part. Okay.
The second part is July 1st.
Mm-hmm. How many episodes is it? 2. Oh, so it's like a 2-part finale then.
Well, but so the thing is they've talked about how in interviews season 4 is like their longest season yet. They said it's nearly in length. It's nearly double the length of any previous season. Mm-hmm. And so with that being the case, and every episode, it's like the same amount of episodes. It's like 9 episodes. Mm-hmm. So far, each episode is only like 30% longer, where it's like instead of an hour, they're an hour and 20 minutes. Mm-hmm. That leaves me to believe that the last 2 episodes are probably going to be like 2 hours each.
Man.
So I think they're going to be long. They're going to be lengthy, girthy, long, girthy, thick episodes of Stranger Things.
Okay.
Anyway, yeah. So
You still want to talk about it at some point.
I think when we've both watched all of the first 7 episodes, I would like to talk about it. I am itching to talk about it.
Okay.
And I would like to talk about it today, but you said you might spoil it, and that's a no. That's a no bueno for me.
Yeah. You might start swearing at me, and I don't know if I can take it emotionally.
Honestly, I'll just,
break this bottle and stab me.
Yeah. Cut your finger off.
Yeah.
What was I gonna say? I was gonna say that. So did you? The first 3 episodes, did you like binge watch them? Like, did you watch them like all back to back?
Let's see. I started watching them over the break.
Mm-hmm. The 3-day weekend.
Yeah. And I mean, I thought I watched more episodes, but I guess since they are so long, it was just those 2 back to back, and then 2.5, and then I finished the 3rd one because I like to watch either Netflix or YouTube in bed, like as I am in bed.
That's why it's hard to fall asleep.
It's not hard for me to fall asleep. In fact, I often find myself fighting sleep just to watch what I'm trying to watch, and it's like, oh, this isn't worth it.
But you talk about how you have to go to bed so early because you have a hard time falling asleep.
I don't have a hard time falling asleep.
Why do you go to bed so early?
Because that's what I've always done. And also,
maybe I'm confusing. Maybe I'm confusing you with Melissa. I don't know.
Probably by 11 o'clock, I'm like nodding off.
Well, that's why you go to bed so early. She's like, I gotta watch 2 hours of YouTube before I can go to sleep.
Well, no, I mean it's just always what I've done. I don't. Okay. Anyway,
even before YouTube existed, when you were a child.
I mean, when I was a child, I probably didn't take very long to fall asleep because I was a child. So, I don't know.
Well, yeah. Well, okay. So how I watch Stranger Things is, and I think how I've always watched it is I don't like to binge watch. It's just a creaky chair.
What freaking chair?
I don't know, a creaky chair in his room. Okay. Yeah. It's in that room with the door closed. How I've always watched it is like I start it, and then I don't like to binge watch stuff, but I'll get hooked, and then I watch like 1 episode a night until I'm done with it. And so for this new season, for season 4, I was like, maybe I pace it out. It's been so long since season 3. Maybe like I pace it out, watch like 1 episode a week, until volume 2 comes out. The last 2 episodes, and then I literally watched the first episode, and now I'm hooked. I'm like, I gotta watch an episode a night. I can't stop. I'm like, I'm foaming at the mouth for more. Want to see what happens next. Yeah, but won't binge watch it. I do not want to watch all of season 4 in one night or one day.
Yeah. Well, I don't even think I've ever done that.
Although I think a lot of people do or claim to or something. I don't know all the intricacies of binging TV shows, but it's not for me.
I think it's easier when the like, I don't know, content is like lighter and the episodes are shorter. Like a K-drama, you probably binge. Well, okay, no, because the episodes are usually like an hour long.
Yeah, and people binge. I don't know. I feel like the experience I do know of people binge watching is they talk about like, I was gonna say like I don't know, Squid Game or other stuff where it's like, it's like Friday night and they're like, oh, I hear Stranger Things is pretty good, let me check that out, and then it's like they stay up all night watching it. Like that's something people have told me where it's just like I just stayed up for 8 hours and watched the whole show.
Wild and crazy.
Yeah.
Again,
so I don't think you will binge watch either.
No.
Yeah.
Not really. I mean, if I'm not like doing anything on a Saturday and I'm just like, playing RimWorld or something.
Watch a movie.
Well, I could do that, but that requires my attention.
And a TV show doesn't?
Depending on the TV show.
Why would you like watch something that like
Scandal? Scandal, it's I don't know. It's not Stranger Things. I don't know how to describe it, but it's like it's something you can put on.
You tell me Scandal and Stranger Things aren't in the same cinematic universe? The SSCU?
No.
Or wait, the STSCU?
No, but Scandal and How to Get Away with Murder are in the same universe, actually. They did a crossover episode one time. It was interesting. But yeah, I feel like, something like that, even though the episodes, they do get kind of long in some of the later seasons, I could just, put that on in the background, clean, do dishes, play a video game that doesn't require my full attention. So
I feel like I know a lot of people do this. Personally, I don't operate that way. If I'm
multitask.
like, well, not that. I just feel if you're not like personally, or for me, I'll either or. If you're not like giving giving the show or thing you're watching your full attention, then I feel like you're not really taking it in. Like you're not gonna remember it or like absorb it. It's just kind of there. You know what I mean?
I mean, that may be true.
Yeah, that's my personal thing. Like I guess I know we said like Scandal and Stranger Things aren't the same thing, but like I don't think there's any show I can just like watch in the background. You know what I mean? It's like I need most of whatever I'm doing to have like my full attention, with the exception of like I'd say music and podcasts. You know.
Okay.
You want to? How about
anecdote.
that anecdote? Yeah. Speaking of anecdotes,
I was talking to my mom. This had to be maybe a couple of weeks ago, and we were talking about our trip that you still haven't confirmed. I was lamenting to her that Joseph, he still hasn't confirmed. This is true, by the way. I'm not making a joke. And I just made the remark that, it would be nice to spend some time with my friend on my birthday. So, consider that. Anyways, she said to me, and now this was never something I thought I would hear from my mom for like a really long time, but she told me that it was time that I found a boyfriend, and I found that super offensive. And I'll tell you why. Because as you know, as we've talked about on this podcast before, but in lower audio quality, I've never been in a relationship before, and now that I've made it 22 long years into being on this planet uncoupled, I don't even know if I like need to at this point, because like I don't know. I just don't know what I'm going to get out of a relationship that I don't get out of like a normal friendship, aside from the obvious. But, and I expressed this to her, and still though, I thought it was a little weird that my mom is already getting on the "when are you going to find a boyfriend" train, because, I don't know. I thought they were chill about it. My dad is still chill about it, but my mom, she wants me to get married, apparently.
These parents, not yours specifically, but just parents, they, most of them I feel like are always going to be on some sort of train. If you're not in the "when are you getting a boyfriend" or "when are you getting a girlfriend" train, it's "when are you getting married?" You know what I mean? Like if you're on the boyfriend or girlfriend train, then it's like, but when are you getting on the married train, know? And then if you're married or, don't necessarily care about that, then it's like grandkids, where the grandkids at? Like they're always going to be on something. Like
that's true. But I don't know. I just found it odd because even in like college, well, first of all, this isn't really something that I talk to my mom about, because even though me and my mom do talk about a lot of stuff, that one stays private. Just for like a number of reasons. I don't know. I just feel like my mom can be weird about a number of subjects, and I know just to keep some things to myself. So like even all throughout,
which I guess she doesn't listen anymore because you're like.
Honestly, I think she only listened to like the first episode, and that was it. But,
sucks. Feels bad, man.
It does. She's a fake fan, but even when I was in like college and stuff, she wasn't like asking me, "Oh, are you finding a boyfriend? Gotta get that future husband bag secured." Really, my mom was just like she was all throughout my life, hard on me about academics, which thankfully at that point in my life, I didn't have to I wasn't like obligated to share any of that stuff with her. But, she's still asking me to send her my grades at the end of every semester. And it's like, whatever, man. But anyways.
In college?
Yes. Even though, at this point, it's really expensive for me to not do my work in college. So I feel like I realized that pretty early on, because I was kind of constantly looking at my financial aid tab. For what reason, I don't know. That I wasn't even paying. It was my parents doing that and whatever loans we had. But still. Anyways, I don't know. It just felt really weird and out of the blue and somewhat offensive to me because I feel like I'm doing okay on my own now. You know, I've had mishaps in college and recently, you know, not as major as the ones that were in college, but you know, I don't know. I'm starting to wonder if this whole dating thing is really worth it because the way that I, you know, make connections with people, not just romantic, but like personal as well, is that I have to see them on a regular basis and interact with them. Like, you know, that's how I got basically all of my friends in school, is that, you know, we saw each other literally every day and we talked literally every day. And I don't think until maybe after my sophomore year of high school, I didn't even like hang out with people outside of school. So, you know, all of that is to say that my relationship building comes from seeing a person in person, interacting with them, because then you can get like a better read on their personality and how they are as a person and like see whether or not they pass the vibe check, so to speak. But, you know, the main mode of dating these days is, you know, the apps, the swipes. And you can't really tell a whole lot about a person through that. So, you know, even if I don't find someone immediately attractive, they might, like you said, if I spend enough time around them, I might end up liking them, but I can't figure that out from just like seeing a static picture of them, you know? I feel like I'm very I'm very vibes based. So, and the fact that, you know, I've never been in a relationship and I guess therefore I don't know what I'm missing out on. I don't really have all that much of a desire to get in a relationship. So, yeah. That was my anecdote. So, thoughts?
Part of me was hoping you brought up the anecdote just so you could put your mom on blast for the remainder of the podcast.
I mean, there's really not a whole lot to talk about with it. This is very, like I said, short.
So you want to move on? I mean, you asked my thoughts.
Yeah, I want to know your thoughts.
Well, I think that you only say that you don't think it's for you because you've never like been in one. I think it's one of those things where it's like,
that's not the only reason why, but go ahead.
Fair. I think it is one of those things where it's like you can't like nothing can like nothing can accurately capture the experience, like describing it, learning about it, reading about it. Like you can watch a million rom-coms or a million romance books or whatever, but like it's you know, being in it, that is what it is. And so it's like you don't really know what you're missing, I guess, until you tried it, which you might not be missing, you know, depending on the person.
Yeah.
And depending on you and depending on how you connect or clash, you know, you could be, you know, it could be like you're missing something, or it could be you're dodging something, because not every relationship works out. And it's like, oh, whoops, I dated a serial killer, you know?
Sure.
Or, you know, I guess that was a joke, maybe to a lesser extent. It's like, oh, I dated, you know,
an insane person,
a jerk, I was going to say. Someone who's a little mean. But it's really one of those things where it's like you can't know what it is until you've like tried it. But I mean, you can still make the decision for yourself of like, I don't want to try it.
Yeah. I mean, I do still want to try it. It's just, it's not my number one priority at the moment, you know?
Yeah.
And also I feel like, I don't know if this is like a disqualifier for relationships, but I feel like I'm a really like independent person. Like I like doing things when I want to do them at my own time, at my own pace, you know? And I feel like a lot of that gets forfeited when you get into a relationship.
I think we've talked about this before, and I would say it depends on the relationship.
We might have talked about it before, but yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I think most relationships, that's the case. But I mean, if you meet someone that's also like that, then it's like you may get along for that reason. Where I guess this is speaking from very limited knowledge, but like a relationship where it's like, like a doctor and a nurse, or like a, two movie stars, like two actors. They might not see each other a lot, or they might not spend a lot of time with each other. So it's like, because of their busy schedule or travel or whatever, I think the relationship you might be seeking might be comparable to that.
I don't know though, because I still think it would be really nice to like come home to someone every day.
Yeah, well, I think my next point. So you say one thing and then you say another. So like, I guess.
No, it's just I want that option, if that makes sense. Like, I want someone to be there. I just don't want them to be there at all times, and I want to be able to like be by myself for like a day or an afternoon or something. I
mean, depending on the size of the living space, that can be done. Just go to different rooms.
Yeah.
But
that's why in my hypothetical future, when I steal a husband from somewhere, I'm going to get a 3-bedroom house, because then one of the bedrooms, that'll be our bedroom. And then we each get our own separate spaces that we're not allowed into. Well, with exceptions. If I say you can come in, then you can come in. But, our own separate, like, I don't know how to explain it other than like a man cave and like a woman cave, I guess. I don't know. But, our own like spaces. And then, of course, the rest of the house is like shared by us. But we get our own separate like rooms, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So like my ideal
I know what a room is.
Okay, I'm saying my ideal room would contain like, my computer, bookshelf, somewhere comfy to sit, kind of like a study situation,
But then if those are like your daily necessities, I feel like you would want them, like, then you would only be in your own room that your husband isn't allowed in.
Well, that might not be necessarily true, because maybe I want to like talk to him or something. I don't know. I don't know if I explain that well enough, but basically we have our own spaces with our own things in them, and it's just ours. But then, occasionally we have the rest of the house. There's a living room and like a kitchen and maybe a dining room. But like
your computer's in there.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
Sometimes I like to go in other parts of my apartment, Joseph.
Your apartment's one room.
Okay, I'll have you. It's 3 rooms, technically. All right.
The closet doesn't count.
Okay, I'm not counting the closet. And that's why I'm moving out of there. So then I'll have 4 rooms. Actually, I don't even think I'll have 4 rooms, because the kitchen, there's no door. So correct. I think it's
1 room.
Just
You're
3
downgrading.
Well, it's more space. So anyway.
I think something else
I feel like what I said made sense, but you're not understanding.
About what?
About the separate room situation.
No, I'm just saying, like, depending on what's in that room, then you may only want to spend all your time in your own personal space. Where it's like for me, if I'm in this, if I'm in my own hypothetical house where it's like there's a master bedroom and then 2 separate rooms, as well as the usual kitchen and living room and dining room or whatever. I feel like I couldn't have like a TV and my PlayStations and whatever I use like on a daily basis in my own personal room, because then I would only be in there. I would want to have it in the living room so that it can be shared to an extent, and so that like we're not isolated the whole time. Now that's just me, but I'm saying, like, I don't know. I'm assuming that for you and your computer use, I assume you use it a lot.
Yes.
And so.
And I do not share.
Yeah. Well,
don't like
not necessarily sharing your computer, but just having it in a mutual space.
Yeah. But see, the thing about that is that, all throughout growing up, the only like space that I had to myself was my bedroom. Like I felt like I didn't really have any privacy anywhere else. And even then I hardly ever had any privacy. So I don't know. I mean, who knows?
that's the case for most kids.
Well, yeah, but
When you're
I
an
guess,
adult, you get a whole apartment or house.
yeah, but I guess I took it extra hard as a kid because now I am committed to my privacy. But anyways, I don't know. I feel like it made sense, and I don't think I would stay in there all the time because I mean, in this hypothetical scenario, I would also have a job, and also number two, I mean, I would still want to spend time with my fake husband, so we could do things together. It's just I want to have the option. I want to have the ability to be able to not see another person for like a couple of hours.
But see, so it seems to me like you're worried about getting in a relationship where that's not an option. And I think that's something you can find out or work out in like the early stages of the relationship. Where it's like, if that's like a massive like deal breaker, which you may not click with that person at all to begin with, but that if that's a massive deal breaker, then you just kind of end it then and there. If you get further down the line, where I think this is my next point, where it's like I feel like relationships can change a person, whether it be like drastically or like minimally. But I think, let's say you get in a relationship and you head over heels or whatever, and then you don't necessarily bring up this thing you're worried about, so to the point where like it hasn't been brought up and you're in a relationship for a long time. When you get to that point where it is brought up, then maybe it's like you've grown so close to this person, you've been in this relationship so long that maybe your mind has changed about that, or you click so well that then you work it out or you compromise or something. Like it's, I don't know, it's an ebb and flow and requires work and things like that, other platitudes. But I mean, I guess they are true, I feel like just because you say we live in a society doesn't mean we don't live in a society. Or does
I thought you were gonna say it doesn't mean we do live in a society. But anyway,
I mean, well, it's fun to say we live in a society, but Arin, I don't know if you know this, but we do kind of be living in a society. Like, it's true.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think, I don't know, that's all I have to say at the moment. I can respond to other things if you have things to say.
Okay.
Podcast.
I may have other things to say. I don't know. It's just also that I feel like I just want to do things when I want to do them,
You've said that, yeah.
I say that all the time.
So like, are you worried that you won't be able to
get in a relationship?
No, won't be able to do things when you want to do them.
Well, I mean, specifically about getting a relationship. Like, I don't want to, like, oh, I got to find someone now. Like, I want to do it when I feel like it. I don't know. I don't want to have to feel obligated to.
But I thought you were talking about this in the context of being in a relationship.
Well, we moved on from that.
You moved on from that. You didn't communicate that, Arin.
Well, I'm sorry. No.
Okay. So you're again. So my theory is correct. You just wanted to put your mom on blast. You're like, Mom, get off my back. I'll do it on my own time.
I mean, yes, I can't say no to that one. But again, she's a fake fan, so she's not going to hear this. But
I don't think. So. I don't.
What?
I'm doing some setup. Maybe I'm like, God, okay. I'm having fun.
Another joke.
I'm funnier than you.
Whatever, just get on with the setup, jeez.
I don't know a whole lot about incels, but
what is this about? What are you about to say?
Like, I feel like one way that your like situation could be spun is like
a femcel?
No.
Okay.
But like. It almost sounds. I'm not.
Okay.
Because I don't know enough about him.
Well, I know far too much. So.
Yeah. Well, so one way that you're this situation you're in your life and with your mom could be spun is like, it sounds to me like an addict, but the reverse of it. So like an addict, is like, I can quit anytime, like it's fine. And you're like, Mom, I don't want a boyfriend, I can get one whenever I want. Like, I'll just get one whenever I want one. And, like, you know what I mean? And so like, to me that sounded, I'm not calling you an incel, but like, to me that sounded like, which you weren't saying that either, I'm just spinning it in like a joking way, but like, I think to me that sounded like something an incel would say. You know what I mean? Just like, is it or no?
I don't think so.
Okay.
I think
an incel isn't just like, yo, if I wanted a girlfriend, I could get one.
Absolutely
like,
not.
Okay.
No, because they think their inability to not get a partner is up to everyone except for them.
Yeah. Okay.
So
not an incel, but I still think it's funny of wording it that way. So yeah, you're just like, get off my back, Mom. I'll do it when I want. Just like, and then she's like yelling at you. She's like, no, go get one right now. And you're like, fine, I'll go right now. You just walk out the door like 5 minutes later. Here he is. Here's Jason. Like, Jason. Yeah, I just watched girlfriend reviews of Heavy Rain, and let me tell you, they seem to have a like a hatred for David Cage. Like there's so many edits in there where they're basically like insinuating that he's like very sexist, insinuating that he's very smooth brain, and then like the comments of it were like, yo, the comments were even bashing David Cage, and like someone said like, yo, this whole video is like are you gonna watch the video?
I mean, I've seen several playthroughs of Heavy Rain, so
okay. Well, I'm saying, but it's still like a girlfriend reviews.
Okay,
it's more spoilers for the girlfriend reviews video.
I'm not gonna watch it.
Okay, well, so one of the top comments was like, this whole video is a bunch of like small jabs at David Cage while also showing Heavy Rain footage, but then at the end they play a clip of apparently Clancy Brown giving an interview, and then like, so then the comment was like, the whole video is a bunch of small jabs, and then at the end they just go for the head of David Cage, because the clip of
Mr. Krabs.
Yeah. Both of those are pretty bad. Yeah. I think I could maybe do a slightly better Mr. Krabs.
Okay.
Not on the podcast though. Not in front of anyone, just by myself. No proof. If Joseph is alone in the woods and does a Mr. Krabs impression, is it good? And no one's there to hear it, is it good? The answer is yes. Basically, he says, he's like talking about his time in Detroit or whatever, and he was like, yo, what really frustrates me about David Cage is like, David Cage will be working and he'll tell me like, all right, no, this is how we do it. And then I'll be like, he said something like, he thinks he knows what he's talking about, but like, he said like, I really look forward to the day when someone that actually has experience and knows what they're doing works on one of these games.
He said that?
Yeah, just absolutely decimates David Cage. And like, I've never had an issue with him, but I feel like, I don't know. Like, I don't know why they dislike him so much. Like, I feel like he makes semi-decent games.
I remember specifically seeing the David Cage hate wagon after Detroit Became Human came out.
Yeah, but like, I don't know, man. I think one thing's for sure. Clancy Brown isn't going to be in Detroit too. Like, I need to show you the clip after we're done. Okay. But like, holy frick, like, what is it? I don't think I'm on the David Cage hate bandwagon. I think I've played Detroit. It's a good game with kind of like a terrible story. I feel like it's very like unsubtle and very like like nuanced, where like let's say if like the good Android story is like, you know, Blade Runner, Ex Machina,
you just said Blade Runner?
yeah, Blade Runner, Ex Machina, those Blade
The
Runner
other
2.
Blade Runner?
Yeah.
The Blade Runner video game.
There's a Blade Runner video game?
Yeah, you didn't know that?
I don't think I did.
It's a point and click, I think. It's from like the 90s.
Oh. Well, those are like the good story. I feel like Detroit, while I did enjoy it and I like it, Detroit is like, it's those. But if someone's just like shouting at you the whole time, like, look, racism, look, the Holocaust, like it's so in your face, like that it's almost like cheesy. Yeah, and it's like it's just like bashing you over the head. Like, look, we're treating androids like we treated black people back then. Like, it's I don't know. It's you know, it's as subtle as a cinder block to the head, you know, or to your knees, or you know, your ankles,
or your fingies.
Yeah, just it's as subtle as a cinder block to every part of your body. But I still enjoyed it. But oh my god, yeah, Girlfriend Reviews apparently has a vendetta against David Cage, and I don't know if they got it from playing Heavy Rain twice or what, but I gotta show you that clip.
Okay. I would really like to see it.
Yeah. You want to do the outro? It has been a while.
You're finished. All right.
I'm
got somewhere to be.
You had another anecdote? You want to talk about the shooting in Texas or Stranger Things?
I mean, well,
here, come on, 5 minutes left. Let's do the
All
speed
right,
run.
this was the 19th episode of the Not Just Arin podcast. You can find us on all major podcast platforms. That is Google, Spotify, Apple, and Anchor, and YouTube, which is a platform that I forget sometimes. You can also follow us on social media at Not Just Arin Pod. That is Twitter and Instagram. Even though I kind of don't use them, I will admit that. I'm not sorry, because that takes time. And I only have time for editing.
Just delete them
after. No, why would I do that? Because then they won't show up in the search results.
You don't use them though.
Okay, but they show up in the search results. Gotta get that SEO.
Who if we can't even like get a lot of people to like watch the podcast on YouTube, who's going to Instagram and be like, ooh, what's Not Just Arin posting? Like,
well, no, I'm saying it shows up in Google search results.
Oh, you want more results. You want like, okay.
I'm just saying there needs to be multiple things pointing to the podcast.
Nah.
In Google, so it's not just like Arin Hansen meme compilations. So I'm getting real tired of seeing him in my search results.
He's always going to be there.
Well, not if. Well, never mind.
Yeah, he's going to be there. Oh, I thought you were going to say if he died.
Okay, no, but anyway.
You're going to kill him?
No.
Is this a Not Just Arin exclusive? A conspiracy to murder?
No.
You boxing Arin in a Creator Clash 2?
I mean, I might.
Arin
win.
versus Arin.
No. Well, okay.
See how tall and big he is? He's going to flatten you.
Well, okay. Don't underestimate me, right? I might. That would be a really unfair matchup, though.
Yeah.
Like
you said, but I can do it. Put me in, coach. And then you just get like, I don't know, you just get decimated. Like just one punch. Like,
I don't know, man. Gotta go for the knees. Actually, I think that's illegal in boxing. So never mind.
So you want to do an MMA fight with him?
No,
just bare knuckle. Anything goes.
Not bare knuckle.
He could kick you. Just break your neck.
We're moving on. To discuss all things Not Just Arin, use the hashtag NJAPod, and I will check, and I have been checking. Nothing there. It's fine.
You gotta lose some of the salt, Arin.
I'm not salty. I'm only salty because you can see my facial expressions.
It's in your tone.
Whatever. Anyway.
God, I need some water after that. Jesus.
Who are we sponsored by?
David Cage, obviously.
Thank you to David Cage for financially supporting the Not Just Arin podcast. We wouldn't be able to do it without you. I did ask my YouTube subscribers if they would be interested in something special for the 20th episode. And they all said yes, all 5 of them.
Really? We got some engagement?
Well, it was a poll, so.
But
hardly
that's
engagement.
5 people.
Yeah.
I don't know. That's engagement.
I mean, I guess, but.
It's more likes and it's more than like the likes and comments we get.
Yes, because it's on my YouTube channel and not the podcast channel.
Leveraging your fame. We gotta
Well, you can't have.
we gotta pull up our own bootstraps, you know?
You can't have a community tab on a YouTube channel if it has under 1,000 subscribers.
Wow.
Which is kind of lame because they're so much fun. But I also kind of get it. There's just some people.
Why not? Oh.
Some people are out here wilding out on their community tab, and they do have over 1,000 subscribers. So I don't know. Anyway,
specific examples.
I don't know. It's just a lot of random meme channels that I see in my feed posting the randomest stuff.
Yeah.
So
I kind of like it. I mean, some of them are good.
Yeah, but it's chaotic sometimes.
That's fine. That's the internet, baby.
I mean, I guess. But anyway,
bring back the dislike button. Cancel Jimmy Fallon.
What is Jimmy? Whatever.
You don't know who Jimmy Fallon is?
I said, what does Jimmy Fallon have to do with this? But
I don't
whatever.
know. I'm jumping on the Jimmy Fallon hate bag bandwagon.
Okay, I liked him on SNL.
Yeah, thought he was cute.
I did for a time.
Yeah, I saw on YouTube Shorts. I saw like a Jimmy Fallon like thirst video when he was younger in SNL.
There's this movie that he's in with Queen Latifah, where he's pretty. I was gonna say ripe. I don't.
Pretty ripe.
So weird.
Pretty juicy.
Anyways,
flavorful.
We need to end this. This is the end of the podcast. Did I forget anything? This is okay. You can follow us, discuss all things.
The salt is eating up your brain. You're I think you're having early onset dementia from all that sodium in your brain.
I'm sleepy. Anyway.